The benefits of music education are huge. We hear music more than once on a daily basis. We listen to it when we work out, when we're in the car, or just for pleasure when we're sitting around the house. However, music programs are the first to go when schools need budget cuts. I will speak to you today about how music education affects our students in a positive light and why we should keep our music programs, because they give our students better SAT scores, they help develop language and reason, and they promote discipline in our students. Music affects the brain drastically. It helps promote language and reason. In a 2009 study, music showed improved auditory skills. The students involved in music drastically had better listening abilities than students not involved in music. Now this could be because they have to listen to pitch, rhythm, chords, all of that in band. Or it could be just from lessons as young as 15 months old. Not 15 years, which is what you would expect. 15 months old can have a lasting impact on a student's language and reasoning abilities. It also promotes more neural activity in the brain. As you can see here, there's a ton of parts of the brain that are affected by music. The prefrontal cortex, the motor cortex, corpus callosum. There's tons of parts of the brain that are affected, and they have larger neural activity in those parts because they're having to do double duty on some of the stuff in music. Now, they also have enhanced natural language abilities, which means they understand language a little bit better just because in music it is another language. You're learning A, B, C, D, where they are on the staff, rhythm, all of that. And so you're essentially learning another language, and it helps pick up on the way people talk or the way the pitch their voice is going. And these you probably wouldn't hear unless you were involved in music. Now, there's another thing that music gives us. It gives us executive functioning. Tasks that require planning, organization, memory, time management, and flexible thinking are all part of executive functioning. You know what it also gives us? Spatial temporal awareness. Now, this is the ability to visualize various elements that would go together. And how do these affect us on a daily basis? Well, they do. These affect the way students take SAT scores. Now here you can see a comparison of students' SAT scores. In blue, up top, is the students with a 4-year fine arts study, and that's typically a high school study, so choir, band, theater, art. Those are going to be 4-year programs in high school that help promote music education and just the arts in general. And then way down here in the bottom in red, you have students who had no fine arts study. Now that could have been music education, no music, and no fine arts in general. And you can see the drastic difference in these scores. And that's because they have improved executive reason. They have improved spatial temporal awareness. And these go together to give them better SAT scores. And students who are involved in music scored 31 points higher in reading, 23 points higher in math, and 31 points higher in writing. Now, we still want to cut music programs, don't we? Are you sure? So not only do they give them better SAT scores, but they also give them better lives in general, because students involved in music have their own discipline set into them. Band or choir or orchestra is a huge disciplined place. You have one person that you're going to listen to while he's directing 50 students, and you have the utmost respect for that person who's directing you. Now, you also have a ton of self-discipline involved in this, because students involved in music have to fill out these practice logs right here. So they're going to fill out what music they're working on, the bar numbers that they're working on, if they're still working on it, or if they've mastered it. Very few times students have actually mastered the music. They can play it as well as they can, but someone might be able to play it better than them. And that's not bad, that's just how things go. And the students who work at this, and they obviously try, have so much self-discipline. It's been instilled in them in band because they want to try and they want to be their best. And in addition to practicing with the self-discipline, they're also going to practice like they perform, because you can't practice and just half at it. If you do that and you perform that way, then you're going to perform half at it. You have to give your all into practicing, or else it's just not going to work and you're going to let your entire band down. So students who are involved in music have this discipline instilled within them. which this doesn't just affect them in music, it affects them on a daily basis. It affects them when they're going into Fortune 500 companies, going into college, or just working a retail job at the mall, because they want to do things to the best of their ability and they don't want to just half at it, because who does that benefit? In conclusion, music benefits students overall. Music programs in school help develop language and reason. Students involved in music programs are good students with overall better SAT scores. The constant practice that music students participate in teaches and promotes discipline. These traits and abilities will have a lasting impression on students. So why are we going to cut budgets? Why are we going to take away music programs? Is there really a need? Do they really benefit anyone at all? The answer is no. So fight for music education and push for your students to have better